Hi, I'm Blake Schofield, founder and CEO of The Bridge to Fulfillment. Mom to 3, USA Today top 10 professional coach, and former corporate executive who got tired of sacrificing my life for a comfortable paycheck. My mission is to expand perspectives to achieve greater impact at home and work without sacrifice. This is The Bridge to Fulfillment. Often we believe that time is our most valuable resource. But what I have come to understand is that energy truly is the most important resource you have. Why? Well, there are a lot of people who have time, but if you don't have your health or you don't have your energy, you can't really do anything with that. Money is a resource that's obviously very helpful. But if you've ever been successful in your career and you've gotten to a place where money isn't a worry, you realize that that doesn't solve many of the other things that you're really seeking: fulfillment, peace of mind, impact, deeper relationships, more purpose in your life. And so when we start to think about our resources, energy is so critical for us to understand. And yet, what I find is that most of us are actually unaware of how we're using our energy, things that are giving us energy or draining energy, and whether we are appropriately focusing our energy on the things that will be most meaningful and most impactful, or our energy is diluted across so many places that we don't really get traction. And I want you to think about this idea of maybe a laser pointer, right? A beam of light that is so focused directly that can actually burn a hole into a wall. Now, if you took that laser pointer and you shifted it so that it dispersed the energy, it might disperse that energy all throughout the entire room. And while the room might be lit, the power of that energy, the power of that light is nowhere near as strong as it was when it was laser focused. This is the truth for us. Here's the thing that you may not know. Each one of us is individually wired uniquely in terms of how to best use and leverage our energy to create results. I often talk about that we each have a unique fingerprint for success, that we are naturally wired in certain ways to be able to create that success, and that honestly, almost everyone I run across does not know or have the depth of knowledge or information about this particular information for themselves. And so as a result, they are going through life with a lot of friction and a lot of headwinds, and it's so much harder than it needs to be. And so the process of learning how to hone your energy, how to protect your energy, how to use your energy on the right thing is multifaceted and multi-layered. But it starts with awareness. And so I want to challenge you today. Where are you focusing your energy? Because what we focus on expands. What we focus on then becomes the way that we view the world and the outcomes that we take. And so by just starting to become more aware on where your focus is and where you're placing your energy, you can begin to see areas that are actually giving you life, giving you more passion, more energy, more focus, more impact. And you can also see the areas in your life that are draining you and pulling you away from what it is that you want. So one of the easiest ways you can begin to start to gain traction in your life is by gaining that awareness. And it can start very, very simply by just looking at the end of every single day and start asking yourself as you review the day, did that give me energy or steal energy? How did I feel around that person or in that circumstance? And then what is that telling me about where I should and can put my time and energy to create better results? Now, I say this knowing that you're probably going to say to yourself, well, yeah, Blake, there are a lot of things that drain me, and I don't want to do them, but I have to. And I want to challenge you on that belief. Having worked with hundreds of people in some of the most challenging of environments or relationships or circumstances, I can tell you that you have so much more power to create change in your life than you believe. And that it is the belief systems that we have in our head that we are confident are true that keep us stuck. And very often that belief that I can't change X or I can't change Y or this terrible thing will happen if I make a change, those are the lies that keep you trapped from finding the solutions to create more alignment, more joy, more impact, deeper and more authentic connections, and more presence in your life. But we must start with the first step, which is to begin to gain awareness. How are we leveraging our energy? Is it working for us or against us? Are we able to focus it like a laser pointer to create results on what we want? Or is our energy so scattered and so dispersed that we don't have any time or any energy left for ourselves, which creates cycles of burnout, frustration, unhappiness, and feeling like we're victims to our lives as opposed to creating the lives we want? Take this today, start implementing it for the next week, and see what insights you have to change your life. Until next time, have a great one.